Hi everyone, welcome to Curious Minds Academy. As you know, CMA US can be divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is financial planning, performance and analytics, and part 2 name is strategic financial management. Now, what do we learn in part 1? That is financial planning, performance and analytics. Oh my god, it's so long name. Now, what do we learn in this part 1? Now let me tell you a very brief example, and through that example you will be able to understand what we are going to learn in part 1. Now suppose, imagine that you are a school going student. You are a very studious guy and you want to achieve rank number 1 in the upcoming examination. So now what do? You have set a goal. Okay, you have set a goal that you want to be the topper of your class. Now you start to plan. Okay, I want to become the topper, and how do I achieve that? What materials do I need to use, and how many hours of studies do I need to put in for achieving the topper position? So basically what you are doing is you are planning, right? And after you have done your planning, you start studying, you start executing that plan, or you are performing what you have planned. And after you attempt the examination and the results came, suppose you achieve only the second position in your class, and you start to analyze, why did I get only second position? Why did I not get the first rank position? Okay, you start to analyze, and by analyzing you find out the reason why you didn't achieve the topper position. So in the last step you analyze, okay, what went wrong and what went right. So even for this simple thing, you start planning, you start executing, and you do the analysis part. So here we are not in the academic environment, here we are in the finance area. So regarding the financial decision, we are planning, we are performing our planned decision, and then we analyze where we went right and where we went wrong. So this is all about part 1, financial planning, performance and analytics. And to give you a gist of idea, here we deal with majorly costing, and some part of this part 1 covers accounting as well. In this video, what we are focusing is mainly on part 2 and not on part 1. Part 1 we will be covering separately in another video. In this video, let's discuss what part 2 is all about. Part 2's name is strategic financial management, and as the name indicates, strategic financial management, it focuses on the financial management areas. Here we focus mainly on the financial management areas. And what does this part 2 covers? This part 2 is divided into 6 sections. Section A, B, C, D, E and F. Section A is financial statement analysis. Now what do we do in financial statement analysis? Simple, we analyze the financial statements. Now there may be some students who have not got any idea as to what financial statements are. Let me tell you one thing. Financial statements are summarized report. Okay, it's a summarized report of all the financial transaction that happened in a specific period. Suppose, let's say we are in the year 2021. This is January and this is December, and there may be several transactions that may be happening within this January, or that have happened within January and December, right? So you take all these transactions, you compile all these transactions, and then you prepare a summarized report, and that summarized report can be termed as financial statement, and that is in simple language. Okay, and that can be called as financial statements. Now here in CMA US, what we are concerned is the analysis part of financial statements and not the preparation part of it. We are not really concerned about the financial statement preparation in the CMA US syllabus. But here in Curious Minds Academy, what we are concerned about understanding the whole picture of everything, and that's why we have included financial statement preparation in our classes. We first learn how to prepare the financial statements, and then only we will move on to the analysis part of it, so that you can get a complete picture of all the preparation, how the preparation is done. And after preparation, how the analysis part is done. So now when you move on to the job role, when you join a company and start doing your job, and if your job profile requires financial statement preparation, then it's going to be really helpful for you guys. So first we do the financial statement preparation, and then we move on to the analysis part. And how are we planning to do the analysis of financial statement? We are planning to do the analysis of financial statement by doing ratio analysis. Now in your previous classes, maybe in your graduation, in your 11th or 12th, you may have come across this term, ratio analysis, where you study different formulas: quick ratio, profitability ratio, liquidity ratio. All those ratios that you have studied will be repeated here also, but there is a difference. There you may have mug up those formulas. Here we are not mugging up formulas. We learn everything by conceptual knowledge. Here we learn everything conceptually. So it is through ratio analysis that we do financial statement analysis. And what exactly is this analysis all about? Analysis is all about, or financial statement analysis is all about, understanding the relationship between different items in the financial statement. It may be an item between income statement and an item in the balance sheet. So how do they behave with each other? If I say, if the sales increase by 20%, how much margin the gross profit increase? If sales increase by 30%, how much margin the net profit increase? So financial statement analysis is all about understanding the relationship between different items and the financial statement, so that we can get a clear idea about the financial status of a company, how good the financial status of a company is, or whether the company is going to sink, whether the company is going to prosper. We can get a clear picture if we understand, or if we do the financial statement analysis properly. And this financial statement analysis covers 20% of your total weightage. So that's it about section A. Now let's move on to section B, corporate finance. Now what do we do in corporate finance? Imagine that you are working in a company and your company is in need of some finance. Now what are the sources available for the company to mobilize some funds? They may resort to a bank loan. They can go to a bank, ask for some loan, and then they can get some funds, or they may issue some shares, issue some bonds, or any other security and mobilize funds from public. The company can also do that. So whatever sources or whichever sources they choose, they need to have the maximum benefit. The cost should be low. So it is our duty as certified management accountants, it is our duty to advise management as to which source of fund should be selected, so that the company can have maximum benefit out of those. Okay, so this example was when the company was in need of funds. Now imagine a scenario where your company has surplus funds and they want to invest this surplus fund in some areas, in some companies. So there will be some shares of this another institution. They may invest in that, or they may choose simply to park the funds in the corporate bank account. They don't choose to invest, they just chose to park those funds in a separate corporate bank account. So how do we manage the company's finances? If the company is managing surplus fund, how do we plan to invest it? If the company is in need of some finance, how do we plan to raise those funds? All those decisions will be taken in section B, corporate finance, and that corporate finance covers around 20% of your total weightage. Moving on to section C, decision analysis, and that covers 25%. Okay, that covers around 25% of the total weightage of your examination. Imagine that you are working in a manufacturing company, and this manufacturing company, what do? They manufacture products, they sell those products. Now as a certified management accountant, if you are working in a manufacturing company, it may be your duty to advise the management how many products does the company need to produce, and if the company needs to produce these many products, what should be the cost, or what will be the cost that will be incurred by the company, and at what price should these products be sold in the market. and if these products are sold in the market, if the cost is this, if the selling price is this, and what will be the profit that will be making during this period. So all these calculations about cost, volume, profit, all these decisions will be taken in section C, decision analysis, and 25% weightage has been given to that. Moving on to section D, risk management. See, a company is facing a lot of risk, both internally and externally. Now just imagine that you are working in a company and you are in a risk profile role. Now it is your duty to advise management as to what risk the company is facing and how do we manage those risks, how can we minimize those risks, and how can we mitigate those risks. So how do we plan to manage those risks? Those are dealt with in section D, risk management, and that is a completely purely theory topic. I do agree that it is a boring topic and it covers only 10% of the total CMA examination weightage. Moving on to section E, investment decisions. Now that you are moving from a risk profile role to a management role, imagine that you have got a promotion and you are straight away moving to a management position job profile. Okay, and in section E, investment decision, what are you expected to do in a management profile? My company or your company is going to acquire another company. At what price I need to acquire that company? And what will be the jump in profits that my company will have if I acquire that company? All these decisions, all these capital budgeting decisions as to whether I need to acquire that company or not. And if I acquire that company, what will be the jump in profits? What will be the financial implications of that? All these decisions relating to investment, all these capital budgeting decisions will be dealt in section E, and section E covers 10% of your total CMA examination. Moving on to section F, professional ethics. This is not a technical area, it is purely a theory topic. And what does this professional ethics tells us to do, or what are we expected to learn in this professional ethics? See, professional bodies like Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ACCA, Institute of Management Accountants, that is our professional body, okay, requires its members to adopt ethics in their profession, to adopt code of conduct in their profession. Now, what ethical requirements do we need to comply? What code of conduct do we need to comply? We will learn about that in detail in professional ethics. So that covers around 15% of your total exam weightage. So these are the 6 sections that the strategic financial management covers, and these 6 sections are financial statement analysis, corporate finance, decision analysis, risk management, investment decision, and professional ethics. Now let me tell you one more thing. If you analyze these 6 sections, you can understand that these 6 sections requires you to perform the job responsibilities of different job roles, of different corporate roles. Financial statement analysis requires you to step into the shoes of an accountant or analyst, okay? Here, for doing the financial statement analysis, you step into the shoes of this accountant, because accountants are the one who is preparing the financial statement, analysts are the one who analyzes the financial statements. Where is the company going? What is the profitability? What is the sales and how it affect the gross profit or net profit? All those analysis part will be done by the analyst. So in section A, financial statement analysis requires you to step into the shoes of this accountant or analyst position. Now when you move to section B, you move from this accountant or analyst position to a finance job role. You are the finance manager of that company, and you need to take decisions regarding as to whether the company should invest or whether the company should not invest, like that, whether all the financial decisions will be taken in the corporate finance section. And when we move to section C, decision analysis. We move from the financial manager position to a manufacturing company. We are getting the job in a manufacturing company and we are sitting in the manufacturing company doing our job. Okay, in the decision analysis, here we are part of a manufacturing company taking decisions relating to the manufacturing. And moving on to risk management, here we are assuming the position of a risk analyst. Here we analyze the risk, here we give advice to the management as to how we need to face those risks. And from risk analyst role, we are getting a promotion. We are getting a promotion to the straight management position, managerial level. And here we take decisions regarding as to invest. If we need to acquire a company, or if we acquire that company, at what price and what are the financial implications of it. Here we deal with those decisions. And professional ethics, the code of conduct and ethics that we need to comply with when we are part of the IMA, when we become a member, and that thing will be dealt in section F, professional ethics. So these are the 6 sections and these are the weightage assigned to it. And that's it from this session. I hope you have got a clear idea about what we are going to learn in part 2. It is these 6 sections that we are going to learn in part 2. And do you know what we are going to learn in the next session? We are going to start with professional ethics. Now, full disclosure, okay? Full disclosure, this is a purely theory topic, and you may feel that since it is a theory topic, it will be boring. Now, take away all those notions, because this is going to be so much interesting. We will learn that conceptually, and if anything is learned conceptually, it will not be boring. So let's get into the next session and we will be dealing with professional ethics. So this is me, Sagar, signing off. Happy learning. Thank you.